Great. So let's get started. I see that there are a few more people coming in, but it's already 3 past. So welcome back to the Global Trade and Blockchain Forum. I hope you had a nice lunch break, at least for those based in Europe. So let's now move to our third session of the day. So I'm delighted to announce that we'll be launching an ITC-WTO online course on blockchain for trade in the coming weeks. The course was jointly developed by the International Trade Center and the organization. I'm very grateful to the ITC for their collaboration on this project and for their support. Now, without further ado, let me turn to Craig Atkinson, who has played an instrumental role in giving life to this course and will give you an overview of what the course will cover. So Craig is a certified international trade professional, the founder and director of Lex America International Trade, and a consultant with the ITC. He's also a fellow with Stanford Law School and a regular contributor to the agendas of the World Trade Organization's Enhanced Integrated Framework and the World Economic Forum's Inclusive Growth Framework. So Craig, you have the floor.
Thank you, Emmanuel. And thank you for your efforts in organizing this event and for the WTO for hosting. And I also want to say thank you to everyone watching today. And a special shout out to Adam David Long, who apparently got up at 6 a.m. California time to attend. So yes, I'm pleased to announce the upcoming availability of a new online course from ITC and the WTO called Introduction to Blockchain for Trade. And so today I'll be providing an overview and details about the course. So if we can go to the next slide, or should I share my screen? Okay, great. So firstly, I'm going to identify a major challenge that the course seeks to address, and then really the main reason for its creation, why an e-learning course. Secondly, I'll discuss the background behind the development of the course. How did it come to be? I'll then outline the target audiences as well as the e-learning platform options to take the course. Lastly, I'll cover the course structure and then provide a sneak peek on some of the e-learning content and give some details on upcoming availability and registration. So we identified a major challenge that the course seeks to address, in that there are a lot of resources on blockchain, but many people find it difficult to grasp and or understand the value of the technology. And this is especially true when considering the international trade context. There are many statements for and against the use of blockchain and DLT in trade. Sometimes it might seem like blockchain is everything and the kitchen sink. So we kind of realized we needed to address this issue. So the technology is only appropriate in certain contexts, and especially those that involve trust. Therefore, to provide a solution that was more active than many of the text-based resources, we decided to develop an online learning course. So in terms of course development, I've been involved in ITC internal discussions on blockchain since around late 2016. And these conversations advanced significantly in 2018, especially after meeting Emmanuel for the first time at e-commerce week in Geneva. Later that year, Emmanuel published Can Blockchain Revolutionize International Trade? And this sparked the idea that leveraging some of the book's content could be used to create an e-learning course. And so starting in 2020, everyone's favorite year, we began developing the course using ITC's pedagogy that focuses on simplicity and practicality. Lastly, early this year, we shot videos for the course modules and interviews on blockchain for trade use cases with both experts and practitioners. So in terms of the audiences for the course appeals to both technical and non-technical groups. So this includes trade and IT professionals, as well as service providers, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, MISMEs, both users and developers, policymakers and regulators that are considering a role for blockchain technology. And so when the course is available, I'll speak to that in a few minutes. There will be 2 different options. So the first option will be taking the course through the SME Trade Academy platform, ITC's platform. With this option, the course will be time-bound, meaning it will have to be completed within 2 weeks, and it will take about 4 to 6 hours each week to complete. The the editions of the course will be offered on a cyclical basis. At the moment, we're thinking it's going to be approximately 4 editions per year, and it's likely that I will be the tutor for these various sessions. And the special thing about the SME Trade Academy approach is that it also includes an online discussion forum that will allow a cohort to interact with each other and answer an open-ended question about how they think blockchain could be applied in international trade. And then the second option is the WTO e-learning option. So through their platform, there will be no time constraints to complete. You'll be able to register at any given time. The only difference would be that there will be no cohorts specifically, meaning there will be no online discussion forum. So overall, the course is going to include 4 modules and a final case study. This relates specifically to the ITC SME Trade Academy's pedagogy. What we do is we put the question of why first. Many times we'll find that an e-learning course elsewhere will put what first, or maybe even how. But the reason why is important to have up first is that, especially for a technology like blockchain, if you understand the why, you may realize, does this even have value to me? So we start with the why, we then move on to the what, or what is blockchain technology. We then discuss, and most importantly in relation to trade, how blockchain can be used in international trade. Module 4 covers implementing blockchain for trade, and then to complete the course, participants will have to pass a final case study exercise that will be based on a hypothetical use case for blockchain in trade. So I'm also going to provide today a sneak peek on the course content. The course covers a variety of topics. So it does everything from distinguish between Bitcoin and cryptocurrency versus blockchain, what the difference between blockchain and distributed ledger technology, or DLT, is. It also discusses the features and the functions of blockchain, namely smart contracts when it comes to functions, and other parallel technologies such as IoT, the Internet of Things. Importantly, and a key distinction that needs to be made in this course is the difference between digitization and digitalization. Digitization is typically used to refer to the actual conversion of analog to digital, whereas blockchain actually leverages these digital forms data through process automation and other approaches. So moving on from this, we actually get into the specifics of blockchain use cases for trade. And this includes expert and practitioner interviews, as I mentioned before. So these use case areas include digital ID, supply chain efficiency transparency, transportation and logistics, intellectual property rights, trade facilitation. So broadly, we include that as customs and border procedures, but as well as customs documentation. And then lastly, financial services, and we cover cross-border payments, trade finance, and other areas. And near the end of the course, we actually get into the implementation side. So we look at the blockchain for trade ecosystem. In this discussion, we touch upon the importance of standards and also about open source and other communities and their role within the development of blockchain for trade. And we also discuss the regulatory and legal requirements that blockchain presents. So for example, and this will be discussed in the upcoming session, the UN Citral model laws. And then we conclude the course by looking at some of the other remaining challenges. These are both the technical challenges, such as scalability of blockchain, but also the more developmental challenges, such as access to technology in general, such as device technology, or to a stable and high bandwidth internet connection. So, okay, this is the older version of this slide, but I will share the link to the upcoming registration for the course via the SME Trade Academy. So what you'll be able to do in the first instance is register for the course before it's made available. And And then when it's made available, it will be available for registration on both ITC's platform as well as through the WTO. And we will make announcements through the social media channels as well as via email regarding this upcoming launch. So we're excited to announce this upcoming course today, and we look forward to people continuing the journey with us that's been going on for some time now, and learning a lot more about blockchain and distributed ledger technology for international trade. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Craig. So stay tuned. We will communicate again, as Craig said, on social media when the course is officially launched. And in the meantime, you can register for the first session organized by the ITC. They will communicate the link very shortly. So as noted by Craig, the course can also be taken at any time through the WTO website. Now, let's have a very, very short break, just a couple of minutes to allow the speakers of the next session to come on board. Thanks again, Craig. And so don't leave us. We'll see you in 2 minutes for a discussion on digital identities, which is a topic that was touched upon in the morning, and we have a very exciting panel. So see you in a couple of minutes.